What is going on, guys? Everyone, Wilson on the Views here, back with another top 10 list for you guys. As today, it's not recently do a top 10 best moments in the Star Wars original trilogy. I said that I was going to do best moments on the other two trilogies as well. So today, I'm going to top of my top 5 best and worst moments in the Star Wars Prequel Trilogy. Yeah, that's not reason why Prequel Trilogy is going to be the lesser than the original. It's probably honestly the worst trilogy of these three trilogies, to be honest. Man, yeah, there was some great moments that came out from these movies. Yeah, I thought that was probably moments that probably some of the worst in Star Wars history, so I was discussing this moments for you guys, and moments that, in my opinion, I think are actually great in the prequels, or actually are just downright terrible in the prequels. Yeah, because I'm going over my top 5 worst, my top 5 best, then 4th worst, 5th best, 5th best, you get the gist, you see, you know, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, this is just my personal opinion. I would love to know what would be your favorite and worst moments in the Star Wars Prequel Trilogy down in the comments below. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. So, enough being around the bush, let's get started! Now, at the number 5 best moment, we have Palpatine versus Yoda in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Most of my best moments are definitely from Revenge of the Sith. It is the best prequel of the original of this trilogy, honestly, and not a great movie, honestly, but it does play some great Star Wars moments, and this is definitely one of them. I mean, you have this Palpatine where the conflict pretty much arises. We see Palpatine why he's at rises and all that. It's just and then you try to fight him and them losing and everything. We how this flex to base everything in the trilogy is just a great and amazing moment, honestly. Coming in at my number 5 worst moment in the Star Wars prequel trilogy is basically the first appearance of Boba Fett in Attack of Clones. Just the acting on that kid is just kind of dreadful. I think that alone kind of puts this moment at number 5. Now at number 4 we have the Count Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin fight from Revenge of the Sith. Again, I also really wasn't a fan of the fight between, Count Dooku. The first fight, honestly, though, one portion was definitely good, one portion wasn't. This fight was great all the way through, especially seeing Anakin just split and kill down Dooku when he does is just amazing. And the lightsaber choreography is great, the stakes are really great and fun as well, just so much greatness, this is the reason why people consider this prequel to be probably the more watchable one of these films. It's just so fun to watch. Now, at the number 4 worst is basically all the political meetings from The Phantom Menace. I'm just gonna flat out say it. Who would want this type of meeting in the Star Wars movie? Who would want to see a lot of these political stuff and just political meetings, trade federations, these type of meetings? It sounds like, why would he want that in a Star Wars movie? I don't think anyone wants that type of stuff in this type of movie. That's probably why people thought it was so disappointing, because there were just so many of them in this movie. It's kind of crazy how many were in the movie. They're all just so boring, and you don't really know what's really going on with these characters, so you're not really invested. And so boring. Now, for my 3rd favorite best moment in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, we have the pod race sequence from Phantom Menace. I always go back and forth whether or not I like sequence or not, honestly, because really it's just kind of one dragon shot, but being honest, it's just, I think that's not really had a lot of time in terms of directing, but it's just the sequence as a whole is definitely a shit ton of fun to watch with how the was handled, the fighting stuff that happened, just how cool it sounds. It's just, and my 4th obviously being on this list is definitely because I am also on the good side of it back again. Again, I always go back and forth when I like seeing them on. So one minute I love it, one minute I don't like it. So it's maybe it could be my worst list, honestly, next day, honestly. So that right now is definitely saying best because it is a cool as hell sequence. My number 3 and my number 2 worst, these seasons are basically just the fun of 2 romantic scenes for Attack of Clones, so I'm including them in one section on this video. And of course, the second one being the dates scene they had that Anakin and Padme had growing. Like, if you're gonna start romance between Anakin and Padme, at least to make it feel natural, at least don't make it feel just painfully forced that they do in this movie. The day scene is just so awkward and just so painfully just just so amazing. Of course, my second worst is the infamous Alexan. It's cool, rough, get everywhere. Like, I'm so questioning who even thought of that line, honestly. Like, again, it's so awkward and cringy. It's amazing how that line was even put into the movie, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that thinks that. I mean, it seems that reference is still to this very day. Like, oh my god. Now, at number 2 best, we have the Obi-Wan vs. Anakin fight from Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. I mean, this has always been my favorite moment in the movie, honestly. It's like, it's basically just them over and over again. Like, it's just painfully just repetitive and all that stuff, but it just, it's still a great sequence all around, honestly. So that's fun. That was still fun, with them doing this over lava, it's insane. And of course, the moment where basically end up, of course, yeah, all the I have the high ground thing, and then Anakin is deaf, and honestly, you know, I brought Anakin like that. That's an emotional moment, actually, because they actually do a good job building the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan, despite any questionable acting. They do pretty well in this movie, actually, so it's a little more emotion than you would expect. Things I've always come back to a lot, so it's just on the list. So what would be my number 1 best and my number 1 worst? Well, before we get into that, let's get into the 5 moments let's get to the 5 best, 5 worst moments with the trilogy that were definitely great or bad. They just don't really listen. Those are, for the worst, no, Revenge of the Sith, the Anakin spaceship sequence and the Gungan fight sequence from Death of Menace, the ending and the spaceship sequence from Attack of the Clones. For the best, we have Obi-Wan vs. Jango Fett from Attack of the Clones, the Yoda of Count Dooku. Again, the first one, it definitely wasn't great. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku, but one with Yoda, I think that also pretty good by Yoda, you know. Yeah. The opening sequences to the Revenge of and Revenge of the Sith, and Obi-Wan vs. Grievous from Revenge of the Sith. All great and poor moments, they just did not quite make the top 5. My number 1 worst prequel moment in the entire, and probably the worst moment in the entire, it's basically the first appearance of Jar Jar Binks. Like, do I need to explain why this was the number 1? Like, all I Jar Jar Binks is probably one of the most annoying characters ever put on screen in the year. This not was George Lucas' attempt to be the children, but even then, they could at least make him at least funny or interesting. Yeah, they said go with the lowest common denominator route. Again, do I need to say it seriously? And my number 1 best Star Wars prequel moment is the Obi-Wan, is the duel of the fates fight, like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn versus Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. Now, how I put thoughts on Phantom Menace, a lot of people seem to agree that this fight is fantastic. I thought this is actually probably the best lightsaber fight in the entire franchise. And I can't argue with that. Like, I'm not saying it's the best one, obviously, but it's definitely up there. I mean, I don't see why people, like, even if you hate this movie, you can't deny this fight was fantastic. Where it could be from the cool moments that happened, to how the fortune Darth Maul dies, again, from the Greenville in the next 2 movies. Again, Darth Maul having that twin lightsaber, that's freaking awesome, and the choreography that happens, like, it's just a freaking awesome fight. Like, easily the best moment in this entire trilogy. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing my 5 best or worst moments in the Star Wars Prequel Trilogy. Again, I would love to know down in the comment section down below what I think is the best or worst moments in this trilogy. What moments did you love in this trilogy? What moments did you hate from this trilogy? I would love to know down below. Again, pretty soon I will also be doing a top 10 best moments in the sequel trilogy. And eventually I'll be doing an overall top 20 list of my favorite Star Wars moments. And that would be a little fun to do, so I hope y'all enjoyed this list along with the previous list I did on the original trilogy. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly honestly appreciate it. If you're not be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites. All listed down below. I am Samuel World from Samuel World Reviews. I will see you next time. As always, stay cool, life, but peace.